Most of us have a sweet spot for sugar. Think about those delicious candies we crave, the cakes at birthday parties, or even that fizzy soda we sip on hot days. Sugar is almost everywhere, and it's hard to resist. We enjoy the sweet taste and the burst of energy it gives. But have you ever stopped and wondered what would happen if you decided to take a break from all those sweet things? Imagine not having any sugar for 2 whole weeks. That's 14 days without candies, cakes, or sodas. Sounds challenging, right? But there's more to this story. When you take sugar out of the picture, your body starts to change in ways you might not expect. It's like a fun science experiment, but you're the main character, ready to find out what could happen. Let's go on this journey and discover the transformations that might take place when you say goodbye to sugar for a little while. When we eat a lot of sugar, our faces can sometimes look a bit puffy or swollen. This is because sugar makes our body hold on to water, kind of like when you fill a balloon with water. Now imagine you stop adding sugar into your body. What happens? That water balloon face starts to let go of the extra water, making you look less puffy. And it's not just your face that changes. Your belly can change too. Just like how some of us have a toy box to store our favorite toys, our body has a place to store energy. That place is mostly around our tummy, and the energy is stored as fat. When we eat sugar, our body uses that sugar as its favorite toy or energy. But if we don't give it any more sugar, it starts using the stored fat from the belly for energy. It's like using old toys when we can't get new ones. So, by not eating sugar for 2 weeks, our body starts to use up the fat in our belly, making it smaller. If you think about how cars run, they need gas. Our bodies are like cars, but instead of gas, we use sugar and fat for energy. Usually, our body loves using sugar, just like how you might have a favorite toy or game. But when we don't eat sugar, our body switches to its backup energy, which is fat. The liver, an important part inside us, starts to use this backup. That's why, after some time without sugar, we might see our tummy get a bit smaller. It's because our body is using the stored fat, like when we play with old toys when we can't get new ones. Sugar, that sweet substance many of us find irresistible, can have quite an impact on our health, especially when consumed in large amounts. It's crucial to understand how it affects different parts of our body. Here's a closer look at 4 major organs that are notably sensitive to excessive sugar intake: the eyes, kidneys, arteries, and the nervous system. Our eyes, particularly the retina, act like the camera of our body, capturing the beautiful moments of life. However, when we consume too much sugar, our eyes can bear the brunt. The retina is a thin layer at the back of our eyes, packed with cells that detect light and send signals to our brain. Excess sugar can damage the tiny blood vessels nourishing the retina, causing them to leak or even get blocked. This condition is known as diabetic retinopathy. It starts with blurry vision, but over time, it can lead to significant vision loss or even blindness. Therefore, while indulging in that candy bar, it's essential to remember the potential harm it might cause to our precious sight. Moving to the kidneys, these bean-shaped organs are our body's natural filtration system. They tirelessly work to remove waste products and excess fluids, including the blood's filtered version, urine. However, too much sugar can lead to inflammation and damage within the kidneys, especially in the tiny units called nephrons that do the filtering. This damage, known as diabetic nephropathy, can result in protein leaking into the urine, and in severe cases can lead to kidney failure. This would mean relying on treatments like dialysis or even kidney transplants to stay alive. Our arteries, the muscular-walled tubes forming part of the circulation system, play a vital role in transporting oxygen-rich blood from the heart to every part of our body. But with a high sugar diet, these arteries can become inflamed and less elastic. This stiffness and inflammation make it harder for blood to flow and can lead to conditions like atherosclerosis, where fatty deposits build up inside the arteries. Over time, this buildup narrows the arteries, raising the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Also, sugar can negatively influence our cholesterol levels, pushing them in the wrong direction and making heart conditions more likely. Lastly, our nervous system is like the communication superhighway of our body, ensuring every part is connected and functioning well. High sugar levels can harm this system, especially the peripheral nerves, which are the connectors that send messages from our brain and spinal cord to the rest of the body. Too much sugar can lead to peripheral neuropathy, where these nerves get damaged, causing symptoms like numbness, tingling, and pain, especially in the hands and feet. It's like having static on a phone call. The message doesn't come through clearly. Thus, while enjoying sugary treats, it's essential to be aware of its potential impact on our body's intricate communication system. Sugar might be sweet and tasty, but it can also have some not-so-sweet effects on our brain and the way we feel. Our brain is like the control center of our body. It helps us think, remember stuff, and even controls our mood. Just like a car needs gas to run, our brain needs a type of sugar called glucose to work. However, too much of a good thing can be bad, and this is true for sugar too. When we eat a lot of sugary foods, our brain can get too much glucose all at once. Imagine pouring too much gas into a car. It wouldn't work right. Similarly, too much sugar can make our brain act kind of weird. Sometimes we might feel super energetic, but then later we might feel really tired or even grumpy. And just like you wouldn't be able to focus if someone kept turning the lights on and off, these ups and downs in sugar can make it hard to concentrate, remember things, or even just feel good. But what happens if we decide to eat less sugar or cut it out? A lot of good stuff. First, our brain starts to work better. We can think more clearly, like seeing clearly on a sunny day. We can also remember things better and focus on our homework or other tasks more easily. But that's not all. Our mood, or the way we feel, can also get better. Imagine feeling calmer and happier, like after a fun day out with friends. That's because without all those sugar spikes, our mood becomes more stable. No more feeling super grumpy out of nowhere. Now let's talk about a condition called diabetes. It's like a warning sign that there's too much sugar in our blood. Many things can cause it, like the genes we get from our parents or not being active enough. But eating too much sugar is a big reason too. Some people take medicines to help with diabetes, but eating less sugar can be like a natural medicine. It helps keep our sugar levels just right, so our body and brain can work their best. Have you ever had a night when you kept waking up to go to the bathroom? It might have felt frustrating, especially when you just wanted to get a good night's sleep. One of the sneaky reasons this might happen is because of eating too much sugar. Let's dive into this a bit more. You see, our body is kind of like a well-balanced machine. When we eat or drink stuff, it has to figure out what to do with everything. If we eat too much sugar, our body needs to deal with it, and one way it does that is by making us go to the bathroom more. It's like when you pour too much water into a cup and it overflows. In our bodies, sugar pulls more water into our blood, and then our kidneys, which are like our body's filters, have to work extra hard. They pull out all the extra sugar and water, making us need to pee more often. And if this happens a lot at night, we keep waking up, which means we don't get that deep, restful sleep we need. But guess what? If we decide to eat less sugar, a lot of awesome things can happen. First, our body gets back to its balanced state, like a seesaw that's perfectly level. With less sugar pulling water into our blood, our kidneys don't have to work overtime. This means we won't need to go to the bathroom as much, especially during the night. And when we're not waking up all the time, we get better sleep. Imagine sleeping so deeply that you wake up feeling super refreshed, like you've had the best rest ever. That's what can happen when we cut down on sugar. Plus, better sleep means feeling more energetic and happy during the day. So, Not only do we feel great during the day, but we also get the peaceful sleep we need at night, all by making a simple choice to eat less sugar. Have you ever noticed how after eating a huge candy bar or drinking a sugary soda, you suddenly feel super energetic, like you could run a mile, but then a short while later, you feel tired and maybe even a bit grumpy? That's all because of how our bodies use energy. Let me break it down for you. Our bodies are like engines, and to keep running, they need fuel. The main types of fuel our bodies use are sugar and fat. When we eat lots of sugary foods or drinks, our body gets a quick burst of energy from that sugar, but it doesn't last very long. It's like pouring a little bit of gas into a car. The car might go fast for a little while, but it'll run out of gas quickly. Now let's think about what happens when we decide to eat less sugar. Without all that sugar to use for quick energy, our body has to find another source of fuel. That's where fat comes in. Our bodies store extra energy as fat, kind of like keeping a reserve tank of gas. When we don't give our bodies a lot of sugar, they start using this stored fat for energy. This process is called ketosis. It's like having a big tank of gas that lets the car run smoothly for a long time without running out. When our body burns fat for energy instead of sugar, we get a steady, long-lasting supply of energy. We don't have those big energy highs and then crashes. Instead, we feel good and energetic all day long. So, by eating less sugar and letting our bodies use fat for energy, we can feel more awake and active throughout the day without those annoying energy slumps. Ever wonder why some people seem to have glowing, smooth skin while others, especially those who consume a lot of sugary stuff, seem to struggle with skin problems? Well, the answer could lie in the sugar bowl. Just like our body and our energy levels react to the food we eat, our skin does the same. So let's dive deep into what sugar really does to our skin. Imagine your skin is like a soft, plushy pillow. Two things keep that pillow soft and bouncy: collagen and elastin. These are like the stuffing inside the pillow. When we eat a lot of sugary foods, something called glycation happens. It's like spilling a sticky drink on our pillow. The sugar in our bloodstream sticks to our collagen and elastin, making them less effective. This sticky sugar forms harmful molecules called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. These AGEs are not our skin's best friends. They're more like the bad guys in a movie, causing trouble wherever they go. Now, when AGEs come into the picture, they start to damage our skin's collagen and elastin. Remember how they are the stuffing that keeps our skin pillow soft and bouncy? When they get damaged, our skin can start to sag, wrinkle, and even get inflamed. It's like our plushy pillow losing its softness. This is why we might see things like acne, redness, or even a dull complexion. The good news is, by cutting back on sugar, we're giving our skin a break from these bad guys. Without all those AGEs running around, our skin has a chance to heal and repair itself. It can rebuild its collagen and elastin, making our skin pillow plush and soft again. So, by eating less sugar, not only do we feel better on the inside, but we can also look better on the outside. Have you ever wondered why some people who cut down on sugary snacks and drinks seem to drop weight so quickly? Well, the science behind it is quite fascinating. When we eat a lot of sugar, our body stores it as something called glycogen. Think of glycogen as little energy packets that our body saves for a rainy day. But here's the catch. For every bit of glycogen we store, our body also stores some water. It's like when we buy a toy that comes with a lot of packaging. The toy is the glycogen, and the packaging is the water. So when we decide to eat less sugar, our body starts to use these glycogen energy packets. As it does, all the extra water, or packaging, gets released too. This is why in the first few days of cutting down on sugar, people often notice they've lost a lot of weight, but it's mostly water weight. Now, after our body has used up all the glycogen and released the extra water, that's when the real magic happens. our body starts to look for other sources of energy, and it finds it in our fat stores. Yup, our body begins to burn fat, which leads to real weight loss. But there's another piece of the puzzle: insulin. Insulin is like a key that helps our body use sugar for energy. When we eat too much sugar, our body has to make a lot of insulin. Over time, this can lead to a problem called insulin resistance, where our body's cells don't respond well to insulin anymore. It's like the lock gets rusty, and the key doesn't work as well. This can lead to serious health problems like obesity and type 2 diabetes. But by eating less sugar, we can help fix this problem. Our body doesn't need to make as much insulin, the lock gets less rusty, and everything starts to work smoothly again. This can help prevent diseases and make our whole body feel a lot healthier. Everyone loves a sweet treat now and then. Cookies, candies, and ice cream are some of the yummy foods we enjoy, and they all have one thing in common: sugar. Sugar is like the fuel our body uses to run, just like gas is for cars. But what would happen if you keep filling your car with way more gas than it needs? It would overflow, right? Similarly, when we eat too much sugar, our body doesn't know what to do with the extra, and this can cause problems. Too much sugar can hurt different parts of our body, from our brains to our hearts. And that's not all. It can also make us feel tired, grumpy, and even give us a stomachache. Now imagine if we decided to eat less sugar. We wouldn't be saying goodbye to sweet treats forever, but maybe we'd choose to have them less often. By doing this, our bodies would start to thank us in cool ways. Our organs, like our heart and kidneys, would work better. Our brains would think clearer, helping us with things like schoolwork and remembering fun times with friends. We might even sleep like a baby at night and wake up feeling super refreshed. Plus, with our body not always busy handling all that extra sugar, it could focus on using other energy sources like fats. This means we might lose some weight and feel more active. So, while it's okay to enjoy sugar once in a while, cutting back a little can make a big difference. After all, our body is like our home, and we should take good care of it.